So my name is Mikkel Garcia. I'm with 255 Labs at XYZ. It's a two-person startup. And this last quarter, we did something really interesting, which is enter and win a bunch of hackathons. So I wanted to share with all of you, since there's a lot of students here, like how we did this. And first off, who am I? Pretty introspective question, but I'm a developer. I have GitHub links. I consider myself an AI artist, which is weird, but you can download some SDXL LoRa's or Stable Diffusion LoRa's from the links on that list. I'm also an entrepreneur. I have a lot of apps in production that people use on a regular basis. And I've been a developer for startups for a long time, for over a decade. So why listen to me and why listen to all of this? So last quarter, I entered 5 hackathons and won prizes in 4. There's usually 3 to 5 prizes per hackathon and about sometimes over 100 entries. So it's better than random average. So I want to share with you like how I won that, how I won those hackathons, and maybe you can replicate. So another thing you should listen to is this is a list of everything everything I've won so far. It's about $10,000 in random things and $50,000 in compute credits, which is crazy. It seems like really high. And most importantly, if you're interested in this kind of thing, you get to keep what you build, which is different from a job. So to understand hackathons, you can kind of think of them as like a running sprint, like not like an agile sprint, but like the kind where you run as fast as possible for an extended period of time. Sometimes it's 48 hours, sometimes it's a month. But every hackathon has a theme, AI or crypto or whatever the theme of the moment is, SSO. They have sponsors, and the sponsors are looking to promote a product or service. They have prizes, and you have to do a presentation on what you build, and you have to build something interesting. So here's someone's comment on Twitter, which I found really fascinating. It teaches you to run really quickly. And some people say it builds up a lot of tech debt, and there's other disadvantages, but running really quickly to releasing things is a superpower. So it teaches you to do that. So also why you should do it is it lets you network. It lets you build things quickly and learn how to fine-tune those skills. It teaches you how to present, which I'm still not great at, but it's definitely given me practice. And it lets you practice building things, which is really important if you're a software dev. And finally, the biggest one maybe is you get to own the results that you experiment with. So for instance, ChatGPT was an experiment in aligning language models. It wasn't supposed to be a product right away. So these experiments are random and can be very valuable. So where we found hackathons. The first one we found from Gabe emailing us, hey, you guys should do this, which never ignored Gabe emails. Then another website we've used is devpost.com, and it's just like a website devoted to hackathons. And then we also, one of the hackathons, I released an open source project that was part of it. I didn't actually win the hackathon, but I got cold emailed about a different one because they liked the project I released. And they invited me to this backdrop build. It's a very hard one. There were like 150 contestants, and they were going straight to people's GitHubs. So I wouldn't recommend that as the first one, but it did teach me a lot. So maybe it is a good first one. We're prepared not to win though. Things you can do to prepare. So the things that for any hackathon you can bring a team. A lot of people that won brought their own teams, I would say primarily. Or solo people can win, and they did as well. You can bring a backup idea just in case like you get there and you're just drawing blanks and you don't want to just be like, oh, I guess I won't do it because I don't have any ideas. You can bring your own infrastructure. So one of the things we did was deploy to some common infrastructure that was just like based on Docker containers. So it was super cheap and super easy. And that was pretty impressive compared to, we want to do things to stand out. So it stood out from the crowd. You can bring your own knowledge. So use what you know. If you're good at things, focus on those things. And you can research beforehand. So the more prepared you get, the more prepared you'll be. Also get some good sleep the night before. You might not be getting it. So to understand the judging criteria, every one of them that I've been a part of has a presentation and or video you have to create. So things you can do to prepare for that: set up a screen recorder, test it. If you have infrastructure you can deploy. Anything goes. Someone did clone a repository and claimed it as their own. That doesn't go, but everything else goes. So don't cheat, but do what you're good at. And then try and prepare whatever you can before the competition if possible. So sponsor judges. Every hackathon I've been a part of has sponsors, and they also choose who they want to give money to. So review the sponsors for the hackathon you're targeting and evaluate them. Are they giving a lot of prizes to a lot of people? Is it worth your time? If they're giving one prize to one person, is it relevant to what you want to work on or the idea that you have? And just kind of categorize them and target. Finding a team, I brought up my team. I don't know how you do that. We tried to get a couple people signed up, but every time it didn't. They didn't want to do it for some reason or another. But so okay, at this point, you know the criteria of the hackathon, and what do you do now? So the hackathon starts, you're in it, you're trying to listen to what the presenters are saying, you're trying to choose your idea and think about what you want to build and talk with your team about what you want to build. You have like a limited amount of time to do this. If it's like a 48-hour hackathon, you want to like maybe schedule 4 hours for listening to people and talking to people and building your team. But once that deadline hits, choose an idea and it's time to start running. You're going from this ideification, like just like thinking about things and listening and talking in this really relaxed state to being kind of frantically developing things. So it's kind of a weird shift, but the idea you choose should fit the theme and the judging criteria. You should talk to the judges. You should chat if it's remote. So if you have a criteria, your team and your idea, it's go time. Stop ideating. I've seen a lot of people continue to ideate, continue to whiteboard their ideas well into the time they should be developing. So that's a pitfall that you should avoid. So one thing that we've done is we start at the end. What is it that we're going to deliver? What is it that we're going to present? So if it's a 3-minute presentation, which is the most common, you want to write the dialogue, you want to time it, you want to refine it, and you want to get to the point where you can get what you want down in 3 minutes. You're trying to present a problem, a solution, and what's unique about your solution, like why it's good. You need to run through it, you need to time it, you need to iterate it, because it's going to not be right the first time or the second time. This is something that I had a little bit of problems with. So you only have 3 minutes. You want to focus on the problem. You want to focus on the solution and what makes you unique. You don't have any time for anything else. 3 minutes goes by really quickly, especially when you're starting from here's the problem, here's some screenshots, and etc. It goes by real quick. So every time I've done this, I've had to drop over half of what I wrote down on the script and the storyboard, because it's easy to put ands in it. It's like, I want to do this, and then I want to explain this from this perspective, and then I want to do that. So it's really important to time what you're doing and to give yourself a little bit extra time. Now you have your idea, you have your script, you have your team and your criteria. It's time to run. Run as fast as you can. There's no rules. If it's a 48-hour thing and you're sacrificing sleep, it's a 48-hour thing and you're sacrificing sleep. There's no speed limit. Delegate everything you can to the AIs. And everyone on the team should know how they're contributing and be running as fast as they can. So the timeframes I've seen is 48 hours to a month. it's really hard to keep going for a month like that. To try anyway. That's how we won. Just keep going. And the thing that I try to do, don't fail because you didn't do the work, fail because of something else. So here's the pitfalls that I've seen that people have put in the work, they put in the effort, and then they failed to elaborate their problem, their solution, or win a prize. So if they focus too much on the technical details, like presenting diagrams and charts, that didn't go well for them. If they didn't trim their presentation down and they submitted something that was like 25 minutes, these judges have to review like 150 different entries. They're not going to listen to what you're saying. I mean, you could have the best thing in the world. It's not going to go. There's something called diversity scores that I've seen in 4 out of 5 of them. I ignored it. Some people didn't ignore it, won. So if you're able to create a diverse team that's able to sprint and run as best as possible, might work to your benefit. I literally entered with my twin brother, so I think we got the lowest possible score. So don't go off script and don't pivot. Some people say you can pivot, it's okay. It's 2 weeks in, you have a better idea, go for that idea. Don't do it. Just, if it's better to go to completion with a less good idea than it is to not be complete with a great idea. Obviously, if something slightly pivots to avoid to save time or just make it cooler, that's fine. Just don't, if you're in AI, don't go to crypto. If you're in crypto, don't go to SaaS or SSO or whatever. All right, well, that's about it. There's a lot there, so